until I command them otherwise.
Khaleesi! Yes! Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Game of Thrones. Today we'll be watching episode 3 of season 1, Lord Snow. Why Lord Snow? I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know how he's been upgraded title-wise from, well, regular old bastard Jon Snow to Lord Snow. I think we're going to get quite a lot of detail in that regard. But it's quite an upgrade if you think about it, from just a bastard to now a lord. Like that's something that we call Robb Stark, like Lord Stark, right? So I guess, I mean, maybe in the Night's Watch they value bastards more, like they give comfort. But at the same time, they do take in rapers and all of that. So I guess it's more like a second chance for men who have been dishonored by their family or been shunned by their family. So I guess maybe that's why we call him Lord Snow. But I don't know. I'm just like trying to put together a theory, and it might work, it might not work. But yeah. Anyhow, I am excited to continue this journey. Even though in the previous episode we did see the ugly side of the Lannisters, I am actually excited to see them as a house and how powerful they are in King's Landing, because you could see in the end when the Hound took the butcher's boy Micah in on the horse, right? You could see that Ned was questioning everything by, you know, giving up, you could say, his family, his title to Winterfell, not his title to Winterfell, but basically leaving his home for a family that values little to none for, you know, like boys who can't defend themselves. And it's sort of like a silver spoon entitlement, and you can see they're ruthless. So I guess, you know, even though Ned and Robert Baratheon are really good friends from, well, young, you can see that he is sort of like, I think being Hand of the King, he might have to undergo quite a lot of excruciating decisions in terms of maybe like, say, for example, like Robert's real dire need to kill Daenerys Targaryen, right? To kill off the Targaryens. So he might be posed with things that he would not feel comfortable to do. And we, like, at least in the first 2 episodes, I've understood that Ned Stark is loyal, he is considerate, and he cares for family, and he cares for the well-being of others. So for him to be put in a position which could lead to, like how Rob said, exactly, like how a regular wench could make Lord Eddard Stark lose his honor, leading to Jon Snow. So stuff like that. So I'm very excited to see the, the hand that the Lannisters and the Baratheons have in this. Like, how powerful are they? And if by the end of the season, maybe the Dothraki army, I'm not sure, but maybe they find a way to come across the Narrow Sea, and the war that Robert was talking about, I'm not sure, like maybe it could be between the Baratheons and the Targaryens in, like, by the end of the season. So all of this, I'm very excited. It's a long intro, but I just wanted to put my thoughts out there. And even though we did see, the bad side of Cersei Lannister, thank you so much for letting me know what her name is. I've written it down. Even though we have found out what she is as a queen, I want to see more of how she works alongside with Robert Baratheon on things to do with, I don't think war affairs. I don't think the women had any say in it, but more so like how the Lannisters and the Baratheons work together. So I'm very interested in that. I'm really not gonna lie. It's piqued my interest. But yeah, let's not wait any further. Let's find out what this episode is all about.
Yes, my lord.
Jory.
If you'd like to change into something more appropriate.
Heck no, this is our outwear. This is the Stark way. Move on.
Glad to see you're protecting the throne. Steady, old thing.
That's the throne.
How many king's asses have polished, I wonder? The king shits and the hand wipes.
Thanks, okay.
Brands and armor. People have been swinging at me for years, but they always seem to miss.
Or...
Choosing your opponents wisely, then.
Look at... You know, he has a way with words, babes.
Must be strange for you. Nobody deserves to die like that.
How did they
You
die?
just stood there and watched. 500 men just stood there and watched. All the great knights of the Seven Kingdoms. You think anyone said a word, lifted a finger? When I watched the Mad King die, I remembered him laughing as your father burned. It felt like justice.
Okay, so... Ned... Father.
So you tell yourself at night that you were avenging my father when you shoved your sword in Aerys Targaryen's back.
Okay,
Tell
Aerys
me.
Targaryen.
If I stabbed the Mad King in the belly instead of the back, would you admire me more? You served him well, and serving was safe.
You do know you're talking to the Honorable Ned Stark. He will call your shit and arrogance out, babe.
Lord Varys.
Lord
I was grievously
Varys.
sorry to hear of your troubles on the King's Road. We are all praying for Prince Joffrey's full recovery.
Shame you didn't say a prayer for the butcher's son.
I've hoped to meet you for some time, Lord Stark. No doubt Lady Catelyn has mentioned me.
She has, Lord Baelish.
Lord Baelish.
I understand you knew my brother Brandon as well.
All too well. I still carry a token of his esteem.
Perhaps you chose the wrong man to duel with.
Well, it wasn't the man that I chose, my lord. It was Catelyn Tully.
Ooh.
A woman worth fighting for. I'm sure you'll agree.
Whoa.
I humbly beg
Okay,
your
okay,
pardon, my
Baelish,
Lord
calm
Stark.
down.
Without the king.
Winter may be coming, but I'm afraid the same cannot be said for my brother.
Oh!
His Grace has many cares. He
Robert.
entrusts some small matters to us that we might lighten the load.
Renly Baratheon is Robert's
My
brother.
brother, we already owe Lord Tywin 3 million gold. What's another 80,000?
Are you telling me the crown has 3 million in debt?
I'm telling you the crown is 6 million in debt.
How could he let this happen?
The Master of Coin finds the money, the king and the hand spend it.
I will not believe John Arryn allowed Robert to bankrupt the realm.
Lord Arryn gave wise and prudent advice, but I fear his grace doesn't always listen.
Counting coppers, he calls it.
Listen to your hand of the king. Mm-hmm.
Forgive me, my lords. I had a long ride.
You are the King's hand, Lord Stark. We serve at your pleasure.
I like you, my man. I like you already.
You killed the beast. You only spared the girl because of the love your father bears her father.
I didn't die.
When Aerys Targaryen sat on the Iron Throne, your father was a rebel and a traitor. And if you don't like her, you only need to see her on formal occasions, and when the time comes, to make little princes and princesses.
I'm sorry.
And if you'd rather lie with noble virgins, so be it. You are my darling boy, and the world will be exactly as you want it to be.
Oh, God. If anything is called being spoiled, this is the way to go.
Why should every lord command his own men? It's primitive. No better than the hill tribes, we should have a standing army of men loyal to the crown, trained by experienced soldiers instead of a mob of peasants who've never held pikes in their lives.
I'm not asking.
The North cannot be held. Not by an outsider. It's too big and too wild. When
Okay.
the winter comes, the seven gods together couldn't save you and your royal army. A good king knows when to save his strength.
So you agree? Starks aren't enemies.
Everyone who isn't us is an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Stop!
He's a liar and a coward, and he killed my friend.
The Hound killed your
The
friend.
hound does whatever the prince tells him to do.
You're an idiot.
You're a liar, and if you told the truth, Micah would be alive.
Enough!
Same dollmaker makes all of Princess Marcella's toys. Don't you like it?
I haven't played with dolls since I was 8.
He's trying to be a dad. Let
May I
him.
be excused?
Little lady shouldn't play with swords.
I wasn't playing, and I don't want to be a lady.
Come here.
Arya, not interested in being a lady.
And who were you hoping to skewer with Needle, your sister?
She just said,
You know the first thing
Joffrey.
about sword fighting?
Sticking with the pointy end.
That's the essence of it.
I asked Micah to practice with me. I asked him. It was my fault.
Oh, sweet girl, no. You didn't kill the butcher's boy.
I hate all of them. The Hound, the Queen and the King, and Joffrey and Sansa.
Sansa was dragged before the king and queen and asked to call the prince a liar
So was I. He is a liar.
Sansa will be married to Joffrey someday. She cannot betray him. She must take his side, even when he's wrong.
But how can you let her marry someone like that?
You were born in the long summer. You've never known anything else. But now winter is truly coming, and in the winter, we must protect ourselves. Look after one another. Try not to stab your sister with it.
Don't worry, her first victim will be Prince Joffrey. Don't worry, she's just metaphorically speaking.
Don't listen to it. Crows are all liars.
You mean that crow?
I know a story about a crow.
I hate your stories.
I know a story about a boy who hated stories. And children are born and live and die, all in darkness. That is the time for fear, my little lord, when the White Walkers move through the woods. There came a night that lasted a generation. Kings froze to death in their castles, same as the shepherds in their huts. And women smothered their babies rather than see them starve. They swept through cities and kingdoms, riding their dead horses, hunting with their packs of pale spiders, big as hounds.
Why, thank God. I don't think Ned would like this at all.
One time she told me the sky is blue because we live inside the eye of a blue-eyed giant named Macumba.
Maybe we do.
You're joking.
How do you feel?
I don't think so.
You still don't remember anything?
Whoa!
I've seen you climb 1,000 times. In the wind, in the rain. 1,000 times. You never fall.
I did, though. It's true, isn't it? What Maester Lewin says about my legs.
Oh no, he can't walk?
Welcome to King's Landing, Lady Stark. Would you mind following us?
I would. We've done nothing wrong.
We've been instructed to escort you into the city.
Instructed? I don't know who's providing your instructions, but...
Follow me, Lady Stark.
First of all, how did they know that she was coming?
Of all people.
How dare you bring me here? Have you lost your mind?
No one will come looking for you here, isn't that what you wanted? I'm truly sorry about the locale.
How do you know?
How did you know I was coming to King's Landing?
To see you again after so many years is a blessing. Your poor hands.
Poor hands? Oh, right, okay. But what?
How did you know I was coming?
Knowledge is my trade, my lady. Did you bring the dagger with you by any chance? My little birds are everywhere. Even in the north. They whisper to me the strangest stories.
There's only one dagger like this in all of the Seven Kingdoms.
One dagger only.
It's mine.
What?
Yours?
At least it was. Until the tournament on Prince Joffrey's last name day, and the Knight of the Flowers unseated him. I lost this dagger.
To whom?
Tyrion Lannister.
Wait,
The
what?
imp.
Hold on.
Do you think Ned Stark's bastard bleeds like the rest of us?
Oh no, so no special treatment. Okay, got it. I mean, I fast track. Pip.
Next! Well, Lord Snow, it appears you're the least useless person here. Go clean yourselves up.
I need him to turn this bunch of thieves and runaways into men of the Night's Watch.
Okay.
And how's that going, Commander Mormont?
Commander.
Slowly.
That's it.
You're a funny man. Huh? A very funny man.
Ned!
This is unreal.
What you looking at, Halfman?
I'm looking at you.
Oh!
I think they would look marvellous decorating spikes in King's Landing. Perhaps I'll write to my sister, the Queen, about it.
Wow.
And we'll talk later, Lord Snow.
Yeah.
Fascinating stories.
They hate me because I'm better than they
It's
are.
a lucky thing none of them are trained by master-at-arms like your Sir Roderick. I don't imagine any of them have ever held a real sword before they came here.
The mere suggestion that the Queen's brother tried to kill your boy would be considered treason.
We have proof. We have the blade.
Which Lord Tyrion will say was stolen from him. The only man who could say otherwise has no throat. thanks to your boy's wolf.
He's like a little brother to me, Ned. He would never betray my trust.
I'll try to keep you alive for her sake. A fool's task, admittedly, but I've never been able to refuse your wife anything.
I won't forget that.
Nothing. He said nothing. He remembers nothing.
Then what are you raving about?
If it comes back to him, he tells his father what he saw.
We'll say he was lying. We'll say he was dreaming. We'll say whatever we like. I think we can outfox a 10-year-old. And if he does, I'll kill him. Him, Ned Stark, the king, the whole bloody lot of them, until you and I are the only people left in this world.
Wow, the last of them.
Until we know who our enemies are.
I know they did it, Ned. The Lannisters in my bones. I know it.
Littlefinger's right. And I'll bring it to Robert. And hope he's still the man I once knew.
See, that's what I knew. He was like doubting whether Robert has changed.
He still loves you.
Ah.
Does he?
Brother, my ass. Oh, well, that's... Even brothers apparently have good relations with sisters. So I won't rule that out. Oh my. King's Landing, watch out. It's hard, man. I mean, because it's not like they can catch a plane and come. It's like a 1-month ride. Why are you zooming in on Ned full?
Mine was some Tarly boy at the Battle of Summerhall. He came running at me, this dumb, high-born lad, thinking he could end the rebellion with a single swing of his sword. Probably shattered every rib he had. Stood over him, hammer in the air. Right before I brought it down, he shouted, "Wait! Wait!"
What?
His sons would be ingrates, and he'd be waking 3 times in the night to piss into a bowl of wine.
Are you talking about yourself, Robert? Lancel, wine boy.
Lancel Lannister.
Whoa!
Who named you? Some half-wit with a stutter.
Wine boy. How are you a wine boy?
What are you doing? Jaime Lannister, son of the mighty Tywin.
Yes.
Forced to mind the door while your king eats and drinks and shits and fucks.
Assuming by their armor, they're knights, right?
What about Aerys Targaryen?
Ooh.
What did the Mad King say when you stabbed him in the back? He said the same thing he'd been saying for hours. Burn them all.
Whoa. Oh, and it cuts to the Targaryens. Oh, okay. Burn them all. So, well, I'm assuming because this is sort of like dragon spirit.
But the Dothraki don't believe in money. Most of their slaves were given to them as gifts.
From whom?
If you rule a city and you see the horde approaching, you have 2 choices. Pay tribute or fight. An easy choice for most.
Tell them all to stop until I command them otherwise.
Khaleesi! Yes!
Not a queen. A Khaleesi.
Oh, wow! I love this. My other question. The Lord Commander in the Night's Watch, his name is Mormont. This guy is Jorah Mormont. Are they like related?
There! You give commands to me. Don't take orders from savages or their sluts. Do you hear me?
Oh, what?
Rakaro asked if you want him dead, Khaleesi.
No!
Rakaro say you should take ear to teach respect.
Please,
Rakaro!
please don't hurt him.
What? Kill these Dothraki dogs!
You are not Lord yet.
I am your king!
You are not my king, our king.
Shall we return to the Khalasar, Khaleesi?
Khalasar. Is that like the Horde? You better know your place there, Viserys.
You walk.
Oh! Boy, please, just get out of here. Oh, wow, an elevator! You know, I have a fascination towards the mechanics of such elevators. Shut up, this is called a Burj Khalifa view. Wow! Oh. I love that he sees him as his own son, maybe, even though he's not of, he doesn't have the Stark name.
I'm the first range. There have been disturbing reports.
What kind of reports?
God, I don't want to believe.
Oh.
I'm ready. I won't let you down.
You're not going.
What?
You're no ranger, chap.
But I'm better than every
Better than no one. Here, a man gets what he earns. When he earns it.
What about you, my lord? What's the strangest thing you've eaten?
Do Dornish girls?
Look, this guy!
So, a night's watch is a joke to you, is it? Is that what we are, Lannister? An army of jesters in black.
We don't have enough men to be an army, and aside from Yoren here, none of you are particularly funny.
Yoren.
Half the boys you've seen training will die north of the wall. Might be a wildling's axe that gets them. Might be sickness. Might just be the cold.
Do you think I'm plump?
Tyrion, don't make me laugh.
I have great admiration for the Night's Watch. I have great admiration for you as First Ranger.
You know, my brother once told me that nothing someone says before the word "but" really counts.
I don't believe that giants and ghouls and white walkers are lurking beyond the wall. I believe that the only difference between us and the wildlings is that when that wall went up, our ancestors happened to live on the right side of it.
You're right. It's not the wildlings giving me sleepless nights. You've never been north of the wall, so don't tell me what's out there.
Fair enough, Benjamin.
I could use some decent company.
I travel a bit on the grubby side, my lord.
Not this time. We'll be staying at the finest castles and inns. No one turns away a Lannister.
Ath Jahakar.
Ath Jahakar.
Yes, Khaleesi.
Ath Jahakar. What the fuck?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
When was last time you bleed, Khaleesi?
Shut up, you're pregnant.
You change, Khaleesi.
Congratulations, darling. You are in love, I guess.
Armor, it make a man bruised. Slow. It's true. It also keeps a man alive. He still is. Man of great honor. And I betrayed him.
Whoa. Betrayed father.
The Khaleesi have baby inside her. It is true. She does not bleed for 2 moons. Her belly starts to swell.
2 moons. Okay. I don't know
know
why I'm noting this down. She's not bled for 2 moons, guys. Let me write this down.
Don't stand so still. Target ain't a moving target.
Except for you. You move too much.
Well, they say the winter of my birth was 3 years long, Maester Aemon.
But reports from the Citadel tell us the days grow shorter. Starks are always right eventually. Winter is coming. He swore it right up to the moment Ned Stark chopped his head off.
Yes, I remember.
The Night's Watch is the only thing standing between the realm and what lies beyond. We can't properly patrol the wilderness. We've barely enough resources to keep our lads armed and fed. Your sister sits by the side of the king. Tell her we need help.
Merak.
How do you know? Is it like the shape? Carl, I beat you to it. She knows. Okay. You just didn't know whether you had a kid, but now you know it's a boy. Khaleesi, you are giving me queen vibes. I love it. He did say he wanted to piss off the edge of the world. Did you enjoy that?
If you see my brother Brum, tell him I miss him.
Aww.
Tell him I'd visit if I could.
Of course. If you're going to be a cripple, it's better to be a rich cripple. Take care, Snow.
Farewell, my lord.
Your dancing master, Syrio Forel.
Whoa!
Tomorrow you will catch it. Now pick it up.
I like it.
Turn your body side face. Yes.
I am.
So. You are skinny. That is
I'm
good. The
Lost there.
target is small. 9 years, Syrio Forel was first sold to the Sea Lord of Bravos. He knows these things. You must listen to me, boy.
I'm a girl.
Boy, girl. You are a sword.
Oh, okay. I like it. Striker, babes. Oh! Yes! You caught it! Let's go!
Dead? Oh. Dead.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay, I get it. I really liked it a lot. Lord Snow. You know what? At first, I really thought that he might be accepted as a... Jon Snow would be accepted in the Night's Watch and whatnot. But little did I know that the person, well, I guess maybe observing or teaching the men to fight is more like... To me, I feel like he's a bully, but okay, never mind. I guess it's fine. It's not a problem. But yeah, anyhow, the ending, I kind of understood what that meant, because from wooden sticks, we hear the audio going to actual swords clinking. And with what Robert said and with what Ned has found out about the Lannisters, war is coming, which means that if the war is big and the war is not known as to who will be the ones fighting, he will not be able to protect his kids. And you could see the fear in his eyes that, you know, when Syrio is like very dead, that's it, you're gone. That's sort of like stuck in her and him saying that he cannot protect, like when the time comes, maybe he might not be able to protect his family, and that would lead to, well, his kids being dead, his wife, everyone basically. So you could see that fear. So I really liked the way that the audio changed. That had a very significant element to, well, you know, the music, the ending. I really liked that. Anyhow, okay, so quickly, let's just go through everything. We found out in the committee when Ned Stark went as starting his duties as Hand of the King. We saw there was Master Pycelle, there was there was Lord Varys, there was Renly Baratheon and Lord Baelish, Peter Baelish. So Renly Baratheon is the brother of Robert Baratheon, so, well, he's in part of the committee. Lord Varys, his main thing is knowledge is his trade, which I really liked. That's why I noted it down. Lord Peter Baelish, apparently he still loves Catelyn Stark, who was called Catelyn Tully before she got married to Stark. And they know each other since they were young. She considers him as her brother and a true friend, but he sees it, I'm sure, otherwise, because you could see that no one... He himself said that he could not refuse anything that came from Catelyn. So he definitely still loves her. And that's done. Then we found out that the crown owes more, like, I guess 6 million gold, like 6 million in debt. And that was from considering what John Arryn was the one who was handling the accounts, and he was the hand of the king to Aerys Targaryen. Aerys Targaryen? Yes, Aerys Targaryen. Who was the Mad King, and yeah, 6 million in debt basically. So, and still they want to do something. I'm not sure what it was, but they wanted to spend some sort of golden crowns on some sort of event, which Ned was against. So you could see he's already started becoming the hand of the king, and the committee serves at his pleasure, is what Lord Varys said, right? Then we then have saying that the I've written Uncle Kevin. I don't remember who he is. I'm sorry, but it was so fast. I just like wrote it down. I'm just like, North cannot be held by the Southern rule. Well, that was between Joffrey and Cersei. So I understood from that is that the North, and assuming this is not just Winterfell and the Starks, and this is like the wildlings as well, they will not take lightly to a Southern ruler being in the North. And because they are wild and they only will listen to orders coming from a northern ruler, so like the Warden of the North. And I'm assuming the Warden of the North was Ned Stark, but now it could be Robb Stark because he's not at the post. Ned Stark, because he's become Hand of the King. So I guess the next Warden of the North is Robb Stark, if I'm correct in that. So that makes a lot of significance that they won't accept a southern ruler. So which means, do they consider themselves as one of the 7 kingdoms? Because if they don't, we did see when we came to the Night's Watch, when they were talking about how this winter will be, you know, longer and it would be more harsh, and, you know, dark things come along with it. They wanted Tyrion's help from his sister, who's married to the king, which means that if they are receiving, or they are expecting to receive aid from the south, that they are a part of the 7 kingdoms, but they just don't accept a southern ruler ruling in the north. Have I got that right? Because I think that makes a lot of difference in understanding, because we are watching literally the show called Game of Thrones. So learning about the titles and the positioning of the hierarchy in terms of who comes where, the superiority, that plays a vital role in my understanding. So at least that's what I've understood from that. And then Joffrey then says that everyone who is in us is our, Cersei Lannister says that everyone who isn't a Lannister is our enemy. So that includes her husband as well, who's a Baratheon. And then the needle that was named by Arya was Mikken's work, which I've written down. Arya is not interested in being a lady, so you can see she wants to be a fighter, you could say like one of the boys who can go off to war and fight. I think that's where she goes in her character plot. And then Ned Stark said was something very important in saying that in winter we must look after ourselves. Something like what you could say Cersei Lannister said is that anyone who isn't us is an enemy. And even though these two are like opposite poles in understanding, I just feel like, you know, everyone are looking out for their own families, and in the end they will look out for themselves and for the people that they're related by blood. So I cannot say that how Cersei Lannister saying it like this. The way she says it is completely, you know, maybe different to how Ned Stark says, because it's coming from a lady named Cersei Lannister who is not honorable, whereas Ned Stark is very honorable. So psychologically we will lean towards see how Ned Stark is saying so nicely, but in fact it's just the same two people saying it in 2 different tones, but the message is the same. They will look out for their own kind, for their own blood. So that makes a lot of difference. And Ned believes that King's Landing is a dangerous place, cut forth to what we saw in the end, that he's realizing that there is a war coming up, and he does believe that he would not be able to protect, is what I have understood. Then we've spoken about Sir Duncan the Tall, someone about that. Then White Walkers, if I recall correctly, they saw White Walkers 1,000 years ago, is what that lady who was telling the story said. 1,000 years ago? I can't remember. Something like that. And the main thing is, Brandon Stark does not remember what he saw. That's the main plot twist, because he did fall, yes, and then definitely that could affect his brain, and that does not allow, like, he will not be medically not be able to remember anything, that's for sure. And now he's crippled, so he can't use his legs, but he does remember falling, but he does not remember what happened before that. Wow, that's like a plot twist. Like, I genuinely, and even me, I also should have thought that he could not even remember. Even if he is alive and woken up, he may not just remember anything because he took a hard fall. So yeah, and then it's been 9 years since Catelyn Stark came into the capital, and she rode with a guy named Sir Roderick. I do not remember his name, but I think she said it in the end, or he said it when she was having her conversation with Ned, right? And somehow the soldiers in King's Landing, they were expecting Catelyn Stark, and that was because of Lord Varys and Peter Baelish, who's also known as Littlefinger. Why Littlefinger? I don't know why. But anyhow, he then came up with a big... So Lord Varys has little birds who informed him about the fall, about Brandon Stark's fall, and about the fact that Catelyn Stark is making her way to King's Landing. And and also knew about the dagger that was used by the guy that was supposed to kill Brandon Stark. So now, apparently the dagger belongs to Peter Baelish, and he lost it to the Knight of something. Like I didn't remember, like I didn't take it down, but he lost it in something where in the end it was in the hands of Tyrion Lannister. I refuse to believe right now that Tyrion Lannister has any part in trying to kill Brandon Stark. What's his motive? His motive is nothing. And I'm pretty sure that Tyrion Lannister has no idea that Jaime and Cersei are a thing. No one would even think that, and I don't know how Tyrion would think that in order to protect Cersei and Jaime, I have to kill the boy, because he was the one at the dinner table while they were all having breakfast. He was the one who said, I'm very interested to know what the boy has to say. Life is full of opportunities. Why would he want to like freaking kill a boy who could be crippled for life, and now confirmed that he's crippled? And if anything, he understands the meaning of living in a time, like in the timeline that they are, because him being called a bastard himself by his own, like he did say, all dwarves are bastards in their father's eyes. So why would he want to end a 10-year-old boy's life? I am 100%. Maybe it might be under Tyrion Lannister, like the dagger might belong to Tyrion Lannister, but I refuse to believe that he has any hand in sending the guy to kill the boy. No way. Not a chance in hell. I completely believe that it must be Cersei or Jaime, who would have known that the dagger was in his possession, the Tyrion's possession, so it would be easier to put the blame on the brother. Because I don't think Cersei likes... I don't know about Jaime. I guess because Jaime did say that sometimes, brother, I don't know whose side you're on. So even Jaime could be a part of it, but I don't see how, like, I feel like Cersei does not like Tyrion much with the way she was speaking to him in the end. And like when he was talking about Brandon and everything, and then she said, children don't need to hear your filth. So stuff like that. So I feel like she doesn't like him that much. So it's easier to pin off the blame on him, right? But yeah, that's what I found. I understood. Then in the Night's Watch, we have Pip, Gren, and they are, well, the boys who have done things and they've come to the Night's Watch. I'm sorry, I didn't really pay attention to what their thing is. I only remember Pip's story where he stole cheese because his sister was going hungry for 3 days. After that, I didn't realize. I don't know what happened. But yeah, then we have Commander Moment. Hold on. So is this... Because when we were looking at the scene with Jorah Moment, so like they are related. Is Commander Moment the father of Jorah Moment? Could be, because he did say that these two, he betrayed him, his father. So, but I don't know if he said that he's the commander in the Night's Watch. That I'm not sure. Like maybe it could be something else, but it looks more like father-son. I think. I might be completely wrong, but because they have the last name, it's not a coincidence that they're from the same family. But yeah, that's one thing. And then we have established that Jaime will go to war for Cersei and kill every single one until it's just them two on the planet Earth. Well, in Westeros is what I've understood. Yeah. And then while we were having a conversation with Robert, we have he was talking about the Tiroshi, and his first kill was a Tarly who wanted to end the rebellion, and yada yada yada. We understood that. And then the wine boy is Lancel Lannister Lancel Lannister, who is the cousin of Jaime and Cersei. Why he's a wine boy, I don't know. I guess. Okay, and then we were talking about war stories. So when Jaime Lannister was 16 years old, he killed his first outlaw. I don't remember the other guy's name who was with him, but by looking at their armor, they both had the exact same armor. I'm very sure that they both are knights. So yeah, that's one thing. And then when Jaime killed Aerys Targaryen, Aerys Targaryen's last words were burn them all, and that means he burnt his father, Ned Stark's father and brother, with 500 men watching. That's insane. And he was laughing, if I recall, while they were burning. Oh my god, he is a mad king. And then we found out that the Dothraki don't believe in money, and that entire scene with Viserys coming and what's his name? Rakaro just like whipping and getting his neck in. I just loved it. I love this Khaleesi. Like I'm very much appreciative as to seeing how Daenerys was to how she's turning out to be. And I feel like she's just getting used to the situation. She has no other goal. The only way to do so is to accept that she is in this family and like in this part of the Dothraki army, and she has to like choose whether she wants to feel miserable for the rest of her life or she can just be a part of the Dothraki family. So she chose to be a person who wanted to help, like, you know, how do you say, develop feelings for the Khal, and you could see, I think they have fallen in love, so very much. So yeah, so I really like that different. And the Horde are called the Khalasar. I really like that name. And I really like Rakaro, really good. And then we have Uncle Benjen, who is the first ranger heading off to the North to find what the disturbing reports are, and he could be gone for a month or two. And then he said something which is very important to me, at least. In the Night's Watch, you have to earn to be a first ranger. You don't get what you want. You need to prove yourself, which is very important. And I guess that's what makes them men, because they come across obstacles and consequences, like, you know, the ghouls and the monsters and the giants and whatnot that Tyrion doesn't believe in and stuff like that. And then we found out that when Tyrion and Yoren, don't know who Yoren is or how they're related, but he's heading to the capital. But when he was asking what was the last thing you ate, and then Tyrion said, "Do Dornish girls count?" That was like a fantastic, like the way he said it was so hilarious. But we established that there is another family or another like you could say, like with the name Dornish was it? Dornish girls? I was about to say Danish. Dornish girls. And they could be part of the realm. So yeah, so like all of that under kings, like the 7 kingdoms, right? But if Yoren asked what was the last thing you ate, if I recall, the last thing you ate was a northern girl, right? Was it a Danish girl? Was that the question he asked? What was the last thing you ate? I don't know. Oh, what was the... Well, I don't think it was the last thing you ate. I think it was, what was the most interesting thing you ate? I can't remember this question, but if it was the last thing he ate, it has to be the freaking northern girls. But yeah. Anyhow, and then Tyrion said no one turns a Lannister away in his trip to King's Landing. So that's Very interesting. No one turns a Lannister away. Okay. And we then find out that Daenerys is pregnant. First, she didn't realize she was pregnant, and now she feels that it's a boy. So that's, wow, okay. I guess instinctively, when you realize you are pregnant, you will realize what kind of, not kind, I'm messing up my words, what gender you are carrying. You just have that feeling, and I think that happens for all mothers. So understandable that she found out only once she was told that she was pregnant. And Jorah is riding to Qohor, was it? And the Horde are riding to Vas Dothrak. That's okay, so that's important where they're going to. And then we have in the Night's Watch Maester Aemon, and he was talking about the Citadel, and then about how things are looking up to be really tough for the Night's Watch, and how if normally the Starks are very much right about when winter's coming, and if winter is really coming, it will come in full force, which means it will bring the darkness with it, and that darkness to me is the White Walkers, and it will be very hard to to take care of the wall and also of the realm, basically, because that's what they're doing. And Tyrion did what he wanted to always do, piss off the edge of the world, which I loved. So I love that. Then we spoke about Lannisport, don't know what that is. And then then Master Aemon said that the Night's Watch is what stands in between the realm and what lies beyond, which I really liked. And then towards the end, we see that there is a dancing master called Syrio Farrell, who teaches Arya, and he was the first master of the Sea Lord of Bravos. Don't know where Bravos is, so I'm assuming that's part of the realm. But he was teaching her the Bravos dance, which is the water dance, which is swift and sudden. So yeah, I think that's all I've taken from this episode. I'm super excited to continue. I'm going to keep, because I've been talking so long, so I'm going to go ahead and watch the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. Please don't forget to wear a mask and stay safe for your friends and family. I'm enjoying truly, and I truly appreciate every single one of your support. So keep it coming, and I'm very ready to see where this goes. So yeah, let's find out what the next episode is. Stay tuned till then. Until then, bye guys.